The interview takes place, and we hear back from the candidate. And at this point, I'm listening to what's going on in the candidate. First, I'm observing, did they call me like I asked them to? Or do I have to call them? Yeah, we're thinking, I mean, Dara's looking at me and I'm like, we know who these candidates are. Well, you've got one guy call me right back after the interview. And I always ask him, well, I say this. I used to say, well, how did it go? Oh, pretty good. Oh, so what'd you talk about? Oh, this and that. I mean, those are the answers I got from someone. I'm like, come on, I need to get something here. So the first thing I do, I'm listening for their response. How did it go? Well, okay, never mind, you don't need to finish. Or, I think it went okay. I think it went okay. It was okay. I mean, what does that tell you?
Not good.
Now, you can listen to this. You can pick this up. So you're listening. You're listening to their inflection. You're listening to their hesitation. You're always listening to not just what they say, but how they say it. You're playing poker. You're observing. What kind of hand do they really have? So what happened during the interview from the time you showed up to the time that you left? I want to get a play-by-play from the candidate. Time you showed up. Who did you meet with? How long were you with them? What did you talk about? Number one, who did you meet? What was your impression of them? What did they tell you about their company? I love asking candidates that because I get more information from them than I do my clients. Serious. I love getting one person in just so I can find out what's really going on.
Yes, that's right.
What did they tell you about the company? And you're like, oh man, I didn't know they had that. Wow, that's pretty cool. Now I know what to really sell. What did they tell you about the position? Oh, is that what you're going to do? I thought it was something else. That's great. That's just great. Now, what did they tell you about the position?
What was different from what I told
Ooh, did you hear that? What was different from what I told you to what they told you about the position? Yeah, they fill in the blanks. Next one. What did they tell you about the... do you think you could do the job? Do you think they thought you could do the job? Who else? What do you think their impression was of you? I love asking that from candidates. What do you think their impression was of you? Why do you say that? Because I want to find out. Why do they think? Well, it's because they told me that we really like you, or whatever it is. Or they said, well, it's because I did this type of experience and this type of client. That's what my last project was. I think that's going to be a good fit because I got 2 of those coming up in the next 90 days. Wow, that's good. That's good intelligence for me to have because I can kind of conclude that the client might be interested in the candidate. Who else did you meet there? Do you think they had any concerns about you? Because remember, we coached them to ask about concerns. If so, how did you handle them? Did they describe the outcomes and how success in your role could be measured? If they say, no, I know that the client didn't follow my instructions and probably screwed everything else up because people are predictable and consistent. I'm just guessing that. I'm guessing that. Did they talk about specific outcomes? No, they didn't. Was money discussed? Yes, it was. Next question is what? Who brought it up? I did. Oh, yeah? My forehead itches. Why'd you do that? I told you not to do that. Who brought it up? They did. How was it handled? Well, they asked me what I'd take, and I told them what you said. Okay, how did they respond to that? Oh, they seemed fine with that. Well, what do you want to do? Is this something you want to go forward on? It's a great closing question. Yeah. What do you want to do? You need me to repeat that. That's real simple. What do you want to do? I like this question also. What did you like best about the opportunity? What did you like best? I got that from Steve Finkel's videotape years and years ago. Watched it again last week. What did you like best about their opportunity?
That's the perfect question for when the client says, what'd they say?
Yeah, that's right. What do you want to do? Can you see yourself actually starting there in the next few weeks? So can you actually see yourself turning your notice in and starting there in a couple of weeks? Yeah, is there anything that would keep you from doing that? No. Has anything changed since we talked last? No. And then this is what I do. I move to the calendar of resignation possibilities. And what I do, what that means is, I say, let me get my calendar, and I'll tell them, did you schedule another meeting? Yes. When is it going to be? Next Monday. And I ask them this. Let's say I talk to my client, and they like you, and you like them. The references check out. They make an offer, and you accept it sometime next week. If they did that after your interview sometime next week, let's say the middle of the week, when would you anticipate turning your notice in? And when would your start date be? And I want to get a date If I'm not getting a date from the candidate, what does that tell me about the candidate's interest level? Might not be real. It might not be real. I want the candidate to start seeing that it's really going to happen. Once we get them to look at the calendar, and they're looking at it also, then we know that this could really happen. Oh my gosh, I could actually leave my company where I've been for 7 years. I'm excited or I'm scared. How do you feel about doing it then?